In this short tutorial, we show you how to create this interesting roll-on effect as if you're rolling on wallpaper. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, I'm going to make this fast. Press Edit, go to Preferences, go to your Animations, and make sure you've chosen Linear. It just saves a little bit of time. Select your default cube, press X, delete, press Shift A, and we're going to add a cylinder. Press R to rotate it, Y on the Y-axis 90 degrees. Click, right-click, shade this smooth. Go to the Object Data Properties, Normals, and Auto Smooth at 30. It will look pretty good. While I'm at it, I'm going to press N, and I'm going to change the dimensions to 5 over here. And I'm going to quickly just turn on my screen recording so you can see what I'm pressing. And there you have it. We have a nice cylinder. Now we're going to press Shift A, and we're going to choose a plane. And I'm going to press S6, and I'm going to press G, lock to the Z-axis, -1. So it's perfectly in place at the bottom there. And then I'm going to press N to pop this open and just change the X-axis to 5. Now it's perfectly in place. Only thing I want to do now is add a modifier, add modifier, and we're going to use an array modifier, and we're going to change this to 0, but make the Y-axis 1. And next thing I want to do is turn on render view mode. Lift this up, go to my shader editor, press new, and I'm going to press Shift A, go to textures, choose gradient texture, hover over it, press Control Shift click so we can see what it does, and look through, and does that, not exactly what we want. Click on this, press Control T, and change this to object, which will just sharpen this up a bit, and then change this to 90 degrees, and now it will look correct. I quite like that. The next thing you want to do is stop the fade by pressing Shift A, and we're going to use a converter called a color ramp, and this will stop that fade if we change this from linear to constant. And then all we have to do is take the white, put it on top of the black, and there you have it. It's looking pretty good. Let's move this aside, and now we're going to connect this to a Shift A shader. Shader that we're going to use is a mix shader. We'll connect it here, and we'll put it into the factor, and then we can connect this principled BSDF over here to this shader here. I'm going to click on this, press Control Shift click so we can see what's going on, and I'm going to press Shift A, and I'm going to use a glossy shader as well. There we go. And just to see which is which, I'm just going to change the color quick. Okay, that's perfect. If that one is that, I'm going to just chuck this here because we're done with that, and I'll make it white again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And now we've got this. Next thing I want to do is just change the world color to white. Click on my light, Object Data Properties, change it to sun, and give it a strength of 10. And make it off-white. Either warm or blue would be fine, which is cold. And then I'm going to select this again, and we're going to add an image texture. Shift A. Well, before we do that, perhaps we should connect this final part of our wallpaper movement. Press Shift A. We're going to use a plane. Select this object again, and then just click over here and choose empty. And now when you select your empty over here, not that we can see anything. Well, let's get back to it in a second so you can see. If I change this to green, if you select your empty, you press GY, it determines where that will be, right? So now I'm going to select this, and I'm going to press Shift A, search, image texture. I'm going to connect the image texture to the color. I'm going to make this glossy 0.2, just personal preference. Download an image that you want to use. I'm going to use the moon because I just happen to have it here. And then go over here, select these two elements here, press Shift D, bring it down, delete this empty, and then connect it to this vector. And if we look at that, I'm quite happy with that. You could adjust the size over here. So for example, if you put everything on 2, it would be a little bit smaller and look more like wallpaper in this example, but choose whatever size you like. That's how you adjust the size. Now, we need to select all of this. Press Ctrl C, select the cylinder, press new, select this, press X to delete it, and press Control V. Then connect this to this. Now we do have to make some adjustments here, so we're going to make this 0. And let's try and make this 90. We kind of have to play around with this a little bit until we get it. 90. 90. Let's make this 1. Well, let's leave this on 2 for now and just try and get the shape correct. Put this on 0. That's the wrong way. This on 0. That seems to be the correct way. Okay, cool. I'm quite happy with that. Now, the next thing we want to do, now that we've got that done, is animate. And all we need to do is change this to our timeline. Bring this down. And I'm going to press I. I'm going to select the empty and press I, location. Then I'm going to select the empty, press GY6 and press I, location. I'm going to select the cylinder. Oh, hold on, Control Z. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. So I'm going to change to frame 100. Let's make it easy math, 120. Frame 120, I'm going to press GY6 and I'm going to press I, location. I'm going to go back to frame 1. I'm going to select this cylinder here and I'm going to change the x-axis to 90, the y-axis to 90 and the y-axis to 0. And I'm going to press I, location and rotation. Then I'm going to go to frame 100 and I'm going to press GY6. Hold on. Control Z. Let's go back to frame 100. GY6. Okay, I see I made a mistake with this over here. Let's choose this. It's on 5 for whatever reason. This needs to be on 6. And press I, location, then select this and press, also change this to 360. Press I, location and rotation. So now when we play this back, it should look pretty good. Now all we need to do now is to put the camera in the correct spot. Somewhere like here should be fine. Let's go to frame 1. I'm going to press I, location, rotation and scale of the camera. I'm going to go to frame 100. Perhaps I should just leave the camera where it is and just change the focal length. The only thing I need to change is select this and increase this so we don't see the end. There we go. And just like that, we're done. Now we just go to our render settings and we can just turn on all these interesting things that improve the quality. And I'll leave it like that. And the last thing you want to do is make sure that your end frame is 99, not 100, so that it can loop. So now when it plays, you should be able to loop this. Anyways, I'm going to render this animation. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to like and subscribe.